Okay, the Bible. There's several books of prophecy, New Testament and Old Testament. There's not just Revelations is not the only book that talks about the coming of the Lord. Isaiah talks about the coming of the Lord. Proverbs, not Proverbs, but Psalms talks about the coming of the Lord. Joel talks about the coming of the Lord. Amos, and I'm trying to think of some others, but there is probably more prophecy in the Old Testament about the coming of the Lord than the New Testament. And Psalms is really a book of songs. The way that the Bible is written, King David wrote it in Hebrew, or probably one of his scribes took it down as he dictated. And it's something to know that 23rd Psalms is really a song, and it's not just a cliche type of a verse, but it's a song. Ephesians and Romans, two of the books that Paul wrote, talk more in depth about salvation than probably any of the other books of the Bible. Paul, an apostle who wrote more about grace than anybody else in the Bible. And because of that, they actually think that Paul had his own gospel. Well, in one place he even coined the phrase "my gospel," but he was not talking about the gospel of Christ when he said that. He was talking about, when Paul says "my gospel," he's talking about how he was saved. That's what he was calling his gospel. There's a lot of other things in the Bible. The Bible fits together like a giant jigsaw puzzle, piece upon piece, statue upon statue, line upon line, but it all fits together, new and the old. There's 40 men that put the Bible together, and 66 books. There is probably no question that you can ask that can't be found somewhere in the Bible. It's pretty incredible that God would have put together a book like this. The King James Version is more than likely the only interpretation of the Bible that more people trust than any other, and for good reason, because the King James was really extremely carefully put together by scholars of King James. So, and there's just so much more information. I can go on and on talking about things of the Bible. There's stories in the Bible. The book of Esther, the book of Ruth, wonderful stories. I'm getting ready to read about Gideon in the book of Judges, I think it is. And Gideon is one of the most prominent men of the Bible. He talked about had a chance to become king in Israel, and he never. They wanted to make him king, and Gideon wouldn't have anything to do with it because he wanted God to be king of Israel. And that's back in, of course, the day of Judges. Well, it's written in the book of Judges. So there's just so much more things in the Bible than people realize. They pick up the King James. Oh, I can't understand it. Well, if you love it, you understand it. You know, it's like anything else that you read. Read one sentence at a time until it becomes a part of your thoughts, and then just start putting the thoughts of the Bible together inside of your head, and begin to read this wonderful book that God has left. This is I was thinking about that song today. Who wrote the book of love? Well, God did. It's called the Bible. Alrighty. So God bless you. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you again next time. Another great subject right here on Crossing the Middle Ministry. God bless.